Language is more than just a means of communication. It's deeply intertwined with power, identity, and social structures. In the world of sociolinguistics, one concept that unpacks these dynamics is the linguistic marketplace. The term was coined by Pierre Bourdieu, a French sociologist, and it helps us understand how language functions as a form of symbolic capital within various social fields. In this video, we'll explore what the linguistic marketplace is, how it operates, and why it matters. We'll also dive into a couple of real-world examples to make the concept tangible. Let's begin with the basics. The linguistic marketplace refers to the idea that language varieties have different values depending on the social context in which they are used. Just as products are bought and sold in a traditional marketplace, languages, dialects, and accents compete for social value in a linguistic marketplace. However, instead of monetary currency, the value here is symbolic. It can translate into opportunities, prestige, and social mobility. This value is not intrinsic to the language itself, but is assigned based on social, political, and economic forces. For example, speaking English with a received pronunciation accent, the so-called Queen's English, might carry significant prestige in certain professional or academic settings in the UK, while other accents may be stigmatized. In contrast, the same RP accent might be less valuable in an informal context in a rural community where local dialects dominate. To fully grasp the linguistic marketplace, we need to consider Bourdieu's concept of symbolic capital. Just as financial capital can open doors in the economic world, linguistic capital, or proficiency in a valued language or dialect, can provide access to social and economic resources. However, the distribution of this capital is not equal, and the marketplace often reflects broader inequalities. For instance, in a globalized economy, English holds a dominant position in many linguistic marketplaces. Its status as a global lingua franca means that proficiency in English can open doors to better job prospects, access to international education, and participation in global networks. The linguistic marketplace operates on three interconnected levels. Legitimacy. Certain language varieties are deemed more legitimate or prestigious than others, often based on historical or institutional factors. These varieties become the standard against which others are judged. The marketplace reflects and reinforces power structures. Those who control the dominant language norms, often tied to social elites, shape what is considered valuable. Agency. Individuals navigate the marketplace by adopting, adapting, or resisting linguistic norms to align with their goals. However, their choices are often constrained by the marketplace's rules. In China, Mandarin, or Putonghua, has emerged as the dominant language in the linguistic marketplace. Historically, China was a multilingual society with numerous regional languages and dialects, such as Cantonese, Shanghainese, and Hokkien. However, Mandarin gained prominence through state-led policies promoting it as the national language. Today, Mandarin proficiency is essential for accessing education, government positions, and corporate jobs. In urban centers like Beijing and Shanghai, speaking fluent Mandarin with minimal regional accent is often associated with professionalism and upward mobility. Conversely, speakers of regional dialects may face prejudice, particularly in formal or high-stakes environments. Yet the marketplace isn't static. Recently, there has been a resurgence of interest in regional languages as markers of cultural heritage and local identity. In Guangdong province, for example, there are initiatives to preserve and promote Cantonese, reflecting a shift in the local linguistic marketplace. In India, English occupies a unique position in the linguistic marketplace. As a legacy of British colonial rule, English remains a co-official language and a medium of instruction in many schools and universities. Its value in the marketplace is immense. It serves as a bridge language in a country with hundreds of regional languages and is often associated with higher education, economic opportunities, and social status. However, this value is not distributed equally. Access to high-quality English education is often limited to urban, upper-class communities, creating a linguistic divide. Those who speak English fluently, with a neutral or global accent, are often perceived as more cosmopolitan and employable, while those with strong regional accents may face discrimination. Interestingly, in recent years, the rise of regional pride has challenged this dynamic. Bollywood films and regional television shows increasingly feature dialogues in Hindi or other regional languages mixed with English, creating a new space where multilingualism is celebrated. Understanding the linguistic marketplace sheds light on several critical issues. The marketplace often reflects broader social inequalities. Those born into privileged groups may have greater access to the dominant language variety, giving them a head start in accumulating symbolic capital. For example, children in affluent households may grow up speaking the standard variety of a language, receive formal education in prestigious schools, and have opportunities to refine their language skills through international exposure. In contrast, children from less privileged backgrounds may face systematic barriers to acquiring linguistic capital, perpetuating cycles of inequality. Policymakers play a crucial role in shaping the linguistic marketplace through language education policies and standardization efforts. For instance, decisions about which languages to prioritize in schools, government, and media can have far-reaching implications for social cohesion and economic development. In multilingual societies, striking a balance between promoting a lingua franca and preserving linguistic diversity is a complex challenge. Finally, the linguistic marketplace is not just about conformity. It is also a site of resistance. Marginalized groups often reclaim stigmatized languages or dialects as markers of identity and pride. For example, African American vernacular English has been both stigmatized and celebrated in the United States. While it may be devalued in formal settings, it has become a powerful vehicle for cultural expression in music, literature, and social media. So how do individuals and communities navigate the linguistic marketplace? There is no one-size-fits-all answer. Some may invest in acquiring dominant language varieties to access opportunities, while others may resist these norms by championing their linguistic heritage. These choices are deeply personal and often fraught with tension. For educators and employers, recognizing the dynamics of the linguistic marketplace is essential. Rather than penalizing non-standard language use, they can create inclusive spaces that value linguistic diversity. For policymakers, the challenge lies in fostering multilingualism while addressing inequalities in language education and access. The linguistic marketplace is a powerful metaphor for understanding how language operates in society. It reveals the intersection of language, power, and social structures, showing us that the way we speak is never just about communication. It's also about identity, opportunity, and belonging. So next time you think about the way you or others speak, consider the invisible marketplace at play. What languages or accents are being valued and why? And how can we collectively work toward a world where all voices are heard and valued?